Peace Collective. Welcome back to the realm of alignment, where we unlock the body's hidden code. Listen, today's serious. No joking. I'm about to really get into it with you guys in a good way, in the best way, because we're going to talk about the solar plexus today. We're going to talk about some deep things when it comes to self-worth, self-confidence, and balancing out that energy. Solar plexus comes with that fire, comes with that strength energy, comes with that sun energy. So shining light on all the parts of yourself that are hidden. A lot of those parts might be ugly, and a lot of those parts might be beautiful. Either way, it's gonna feel horrific when the light hits it and brings it to the forefront. Let's talk about this. The importance of this message today. Now, I just have downloads to share with you guys. Now, this is a part of my experiences, and whatever I experience, I believe the collective is also experiencing, because I do believe that we are one collective consciousness. So we are all collectively experiencing the same thing on different timelines in different ways, right? When something happens to one of us, it kind of happens to all of us in just different ways. So when I share my story, I'm sharing it with the intention of connecting with anyone else who might be on my timeline to receive confirmation. Recently, oh my gosh, I've been back in chakra land, okay? I've been back in chakra land and just really studying my healing in a way that I'm familiar with, but this time it's really different. I am currently on sacral chakra week, and I'm starting solar plexus next week. And the energy has been so intense when it comes to my solar plexus. My solar plexus has created this shift in me that brought awareness to my self-confidence, that shined light on what I wasn't so confident about in myself. And I feel like a lot of you guys are dealing with this energy of questioning yourself and asking yourself if you're good enough for something. And you could be thinking to yourself, like, something that you've always wanted to do. You could be thinking to yourself, like, can I really do this thing? Like, can I really show up in this light? Can I really be authentic in my pure essence and still be liked and still be received? And the thing is, the biggest problem is you're looking at your life in a way where you're seeking validation outside of yourself. And that's where you go wrong. That's where you go so wrong. And here's why it could be so triggering, because a lot of you have worked on your self-love. A lot of you have worked on your self-love, and I don't think it's a issue of whether or not you love yourself. I believe you do. I believe that you have done the work on yourself. I'm talking to you directly. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You've done the work on yourself. You've healed a lot of your trauma. You've healed a lot of your abandonment wounds. You've been tested over and over again and saw for yourself that you will always choose you at the end of the day. And that's why you are so triggered by realizing this part of yourself coming up to the surface, because now you're thinking, like, how did I miss this? How do I feel like this about myself? I should not be feeling like this about myself. I have been working on my self-love for so long. I should not have missed this. Why am I questioning if I'm good enough? Why am I questioning if I can show up for something that I feel God is telling me I can do? Well, baby girl, baby boy, here's the thing. Sometimes on our journey, we kind of forget to give ourselves grace first off. We forget to give ourselves grace. And then second of all, we have to recognize that we're always going to be evolving. You're never going to get to a place where, there's no more lessons left to learn. There's nothing else left to do, and there's no more further to go. Because if you do get to that point, you're not living anymore. You will not be alive anymore. But the purpose to living is to remember that you are evolving. You're going to change. You're going to discover new parts of yourself that you never knew were there. You're gonna have these experiences. It is absolutely normal, and you have to give yourself grace. A lot of you have been in positions where you've completely poured grace out onto people in situations, and you've had conversations that you probably should have had with yourself, with other people, talking them off the ledge, reminding them of their power, reminding them of their beauty, reminding them of their strength, but you won't do it for yourself. So now that version of you shows up that was buried, that was hidden, the light hits it, and then the first thing that you do is you abandon that version of yourself. And I want to tell you with so much love in my heart that, listen, do not abandon yourself. Seriously, don't abandon yourself. I did it the moment that I recognized I was still dealing with insecurities. And my life intentionally was exposing that to me. I was having experiences that was intentionally showing me where I was being insecure. And it made me sick to my stomach because I'm like, I don't identify with that. What is that? I'm a confident person. I carry myself with all this confidence. Why do I feel this way? And the first thing I did was abandon that part of myself instead of just allowing the experience to show me and teach me. And abandoning that part of myself also exposed even more that version of me that was inauthentic. That bothered me so much. It bothered me so much. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, what is this? And then one of my toxic traits is I will run. I will escape. I will say abort mission, and I will get out. I will get out of Dodge fast, quick. Okay, I will move out the way just to avoid being hurt, avoid being disappointed, avoid being in this energy that will make me feel like I have to be vulnerable. I don't really like to be vulnerable, right? But that was all connected to my solar plexus energy and the version of myself that needed to be exposed to me. This is exactly what I wanted to share because I feel like a lot of you are having these experiences right now. And the only reason why you're having these experiences is because you're being called to the next level. Please believe that. Please believe that. The only reason why you feel triggered is because you're being called to the next level. You're being told, get up, believe in yourself, know who you are. I created you. This is God talking, by the way. Get up and remember who you are. Remember who you are. And if you need some help remembering who you are, please grab the Quantum Ascension Workbook. It's super cheap because I want everyone to be able to have access to it. The Quantum Ascension Workbook will shift you back into awareness of yourself and help you remember your power. It individually will take you by your hair and drag you into your level up. I'm telling you, it's no joke. Every single time I start working on my chakras, life gets interesting because every single week is deeply, immensely mirroring the exact chakra that's being worked on, and everything that is required to balance out each energy plays out in your life. That timeline comes forward and it's fast moving. Anyone who's ever done chakra land, ask them, they will tell you. I'm not lying. I had to go through a moment of remembrance. And I feel like you're experiencing this moment of remembrance. You are being called back to yourself. You are being called back to your power, back to your gifts. You are being called back to your authenticity. You are being called back to your spirit. Okay? And it feels crazy. Some of you might be fearful. Some of you might be scared. Some of you might be, unclear about what's happening to you right now, but that's because it's the next level. Some of you are just going through an ascension process, and it feels like the dark night of the soul. It couldn't have been a better confirmation. You are going through something that feels like the dark night of the soul, and that's what ascension feels like, the next level. There was this moment, I swear, where I had this experience where it felt like my crown chakra activated, and I got lightheaded, and my ears, they felt like they were popping, like when you're in a plane, like an altitude shift. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just discovered and became conscious of the first sign, one of the first signs of a crown chakra activation. And it's like altitude energy. It's like you get dizzy, and some people might experience like confusion or being lost or in a daze or spaced out for a second. I know I experience that a lot. I'll be like spaced out, and it's usually because when your crown chakra opens, messages will come through. Spirit starts to talk to you. It's like you almost have to remember you got to connect back to the body, the physical realm. You're not all spirit, you're also the physical. So you have to like find your balance and connect again. But it will happen when you do get to that crown chakra awakening. Another thing I noticed is like itching in the head. Like head gets, I don't even have like dandruff or anything. My scalp isn't dry. I don't have dry scalp or nothing. And that's why I know that's how I know when I'm dealing with crown chakra activation, because my scalp will just get really itchy. I'll feel tingling like all around here. Sometimes there'll be pressure here, pressure on the sides. Sometimes it's really intense too. Ringing in the ears, like that popping in the ears. All of that is Ascension Symptoms. That's what that's called. Okay, so I'm not going to leave you guys with just, the exposition of the message and bringing you to awareness. You know that when it comes to what we're doing here and the work that we're doing here together, remember, we're doing this together, we have to find a solution. I'm going to share with you, I have some notes here, some shadow work questions that you can work through, and this will reveal to you maybe even answers you never thought you would come up with. Sit with it. One of the things I'm experiencing for the first time actually is I have an issue with slowing down because I move so quick. I move so fast all the time. Like the fire in me just burns bright and strong, and I'm always moving quick. And I had to slow down because I was working through these chakra line questions. And when I get to a question, I'll think I know the answer right away. And I had to stop myself, like, wait, let me just sit with this. Because I feel like I don't have an answer for this question. And I just close my eyes. I take 3 deep breaths. And then all of a sudden, it's like mystical. It's so magical. Answers will come to me like a plethora. Confirmation of answers. A plethora of answers will come to me, and I'll be like, oh my God, I wasn't even thinking about that. But it's so true. It just becomes like a whole confirmation. But anyway, let me leave you guys with these questions really quick, because one thing you have to recognize in yourself in order to break every toxic trait that you have. This is the key to breaking the toxic traits that you carry. Once you become triggered by something, it's because you are being called to pay attention to something. Okay? You are never going to be triggered if it's not something you gotta look at in yourself. Every time you get triggered, it's because your spirit resonates with whatever is triggering you. If you can find the courage and the self-love to address every single time you're triggered by something, like really pull back and look into yourself when you feel triggered, that will inevitably take you to the next level. I am not kidding. I'm not kidding. It takes a really powerful, secure person to feel triggered by something and not like lash out or attack the other person. Speak your truth, set your boundaries, But also turn around and look at yourself and see why you're being triggered, why you feel triggered, why you're experiencing this activation in you and having a visceral reaction whenever this specific thing happens, or this specific person comes around, or this specific thing is being said. Why is this a trigger word? Why are you being triggered? Look at it. Pay attention to it. I think that we live in a culture that is dangerously coddling people's trauma in a way where people are not learning to actually elevate past their inner darkness. So they suppress their inner darkness by these trigger warnings and staying triggered and avoiding the triggers instead of addressing the trigger. We're going to address that trigger today. That's what we're going to do. Okay? So question number 1. Okay. I have, where am I not trusting myself? That's question number 1. Where are you not trusting yourself? Question number 2 is, where am I outsourcing my authority? Now this question I really, really like. I had to do a little bit of a deep dive into it. Because I sometimes I come across these shadow work questions and I'm like, what exactly does this mean? So where am I outsourcing my authority? This means, where have I given someone else the power to decide, validate, approve, or define me instead of trusting myself? Whew, Jesus. So that is outsourcing your authority. So the authority that you have over yourself is already your inner validation. You validating yourself and not needing outside validation, that's your authority. You defining yourself and not showing up as anyone else, that's your authority. You literally being in your authenticity is your authority. And when you outsource that authority, it's you giving someone else the power to either define you, to validate you, to manipulate you. Okay? I just had to make sure that made sense with the question in my notes. To even decide for you, to make decisions for you. It's so dangerous. That's how you give your power away. So you want to know a very effective way to call your power back to you? If you ever questioned, how do I call my power back to me? You take your authority back by defining yourself, by trusting yourself, by validating yourself, not looking for that from anyone else. That sounds so much easier said than done because it's real work. That's why. Okay. I want to go a little bit deeper. What does outsourcing your authority look like? You constantly ask for advice. You feel confident about a decision until someone questions it. Ooh, that one hit. You wait for permission, signs or validation before acting. That's what that looks like. You shape your truth so it's more acceptable to others. People do that all the time. All the time. You know something doesn't feel right, but you do it anyway to keep the peace. That's me. People pleasing. Oh my God. People pleasing will take you completely off your throne of power, of self-power, because everybody has their own throne. But you get up out of your seat and walk away, take your crown off and everything, when you literally are people pleasing. I'm recovering, okay? I want you to do the same. You know something doesn't feel right, but you do it anyway to keep the peace. I already read that, but I guess I read it again for a reason. You trust experts, partners, parents, or social media than your own discernment. Oh Lord. Yes. And that is how you leak your energy. Your essence leaks out of you. Energy leaks happen when you give your authority to other people, and we do it based on those examples. Do you see how easy it is to do that so often? All of us, I would say, come across that type of energy. Most of us. come across that type of energy on a daily basis. And that's how you leak your power. You have to take your power back and remember your authority that you have over yourself. You don't need anybody else to govern you. Okay? Let's go to the next question. Where am I waiting for permission to take up space? I like that one. Where am I waiting for permission to take up space? Because this is a big one, especially for you people who have so much power, who've been called to do something that God has been telling you to do. And you're waiting for permission to take up space when God already gave you the permission. Who else are you waiting for the permission for? That validation. Social media, the people around you, that's where you're waiting for the permission for it. That's where you're waiting for the permission from. But you don't recognize it because you're bad at taking accountability. You're bad at taking accountability, so you don't recognize it. But you have to recognize it. And I'm here to shine light on that. Okay? Last question. Where do I doubt my decisions? Oh my gosh. Listen, you may not realize how much power you give away when you doubt your decisions. Every single time you doubt a decision that you make, and then every single time you doubt a decision that you make, you've given away some of your power. You've just leaked energy out of your chakras, your solar plexus, your light. Because you're not meant to question your intuition. You're not meant to question your actions. And again, I'm not speaking to you guys as if I never experienced this. I'm going through this right now. Right now I'm going through this. Right now. But the point is, actively healing through it. Recognizing when you're in these situations and addressing it. Immediately addressing it. I don't care. Address it. I don't care how ugly it feels. I don't care how uncomfortable it feels. I don't care if it feels like you're suffocating and dying. It will feel like that. But you have to allow it to pass. Those energies will pass. Those emotions will pass. Those experiences will pass. That darkness will pass. But you have to give it room to pass. How is it going to pass if you're stopping it by avoiding it? You suppressing your emotions and you suppressing the truth, you suppressing the light isn't going to stop it from coming to the surface. It's going to keep popping up. It's going to keep bouncing up. And you're just going to feel irritated. You're just going to stay in the energy of being irritated and frustrated and uncomfortable and unsure and questioning yourself and yada, yada, yada. You're not supposed to do that. So, and I'm saying this with so much love because I understand. I completely understand. I know how hard this is. I know how difficult it can be to trust yourself. I know how difficult it can be to need to make a decision, want to make a decision, have the authority to do so, but you feel stuck. You feel stuck and you feel like, what am I going to do? Take your power back first. Take your power back first. And listen to that first voice that talks to you. Not the others, not the distractions, not what social media is showing you, not what your friends say, not what your family says. When that first voice speaks and you're talking to God, it's that soft voice. It's not the one that pressures you and comes at you and makes you feel like it's beating up against you and making you feel like you've got to question this and question. All of the confusion, the devil is the author of confusion. Okay, so we don't do confusion here. We want straight facts, clarity. If we don't have clarity, we're not dealing with it. We can't do that to ourselves. You have to know when to shut it down, pull back in, and listen to the first voice. Okay? So I have a really good quote here. It says, your trigger is a mirror showing you the version of yourself that wants to come online. That's dope. I really like that. Okay, so before we close this out, let's do some somatic exercises that will support you in this, because when you start to bring things up to the surface, you might need this grounding energy. You're going to need the foundation to help you with addressing this energy. You know, it's not always going to be easy. Everyone has their own story, and a lot of people are dealing with some serious trauma. My heart goes out to you. I know how hard life is right now for so many people in so many different ways, on so many different levels, and I will never try to minimize your experiences. Shit gets hard for people, and I have so much grace for every single one of you. I have so much grace for you, okay? Because this is not easy. So, but as long as you're doing something about it, as long as you're trying to help yourself, as long as you're actually making the move to change what it is you're experiencing, that's all that matters. Okay, so here's your affirmation. I trust myself, I choose myself, and I stand in my power. And I need you to repeat this to yourself. I trust myself, I choose myself, and I stand in my power. I trust myself, I choose myself, and I stand in my power. That's it. Really let it resonate in your spirit and hold on to that. I trust myself, I choose myself, and I stand in my power. I don't care what it looks like on the outside. I don't care how it makes anybody else feel, for you to take your power back, for you to set boundaries in whatever way you need to. And it shouldn't be something you feel like you need to apologize for ever. I'm talking to the people pleasers out there. Y'all know, we know how hard that is to set boundaries. So to be able to set a boundary is a celebration, okay, in the spirit realm. Because it's not personal. It's not personal to anyone outside of us. It's for us. It's for you. And your spirit thanks you when you do that. Men and women, learn to set your boundaries. Value yourself. I trust myself. I choose myself. And I stand in my power. And one thing I'm going to need you to really stop doing is stop over-explaining your choices. Whatever you decide to do, stop over-explaining it. You don't have to over-explain it. The only people you may feel like you need to explain your choices to, use your discernment. It depends. If you really care about somebody, then that's different. But, you know, when it comes to almost everyone else, like I said, use your discernment. Don't just start acting like an asshole towards your loved ones. Sometimes some things based on your discernment might require for you to explain it a little bit. But everything else, when you set your boundary, that's it. You don't need to explain nothing. Because it doesn't require that. You setting your boundary doesn't require an explanation, and that's okay. It's like how we need to start operating is through this energy of, hey, I'm showing you how I want you to treat me, and this is how I'm going to treat you. So me respecting my boundaries is me also showing you how I'll respect your boundaries. I'm showing you I'm capable of that. So you can see that I will respect your boundaries because I know what it looks like for me. That's how we have to start changing the perspective and not make it a personal thing or turning into this egotistic competition of who can set the better boundary. That's not what we're doing over here. This is more so a balanced energy, and we're balancing it by doing it with love. So like I said, however you treat yourself, however we treat ourselves is how we're teaching other people to treat us and showing them what we're capable of doing in return for them, right? As we close out, you can place your hands on your stomach and we're going to allow our light to shine. Okay? I hope you're ready, because it's time. Put your hands on your stomach and just relax your spine. Relax your shoulders, drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw, soften your face, drop your tongue from the roof of your mouth. I was saying roof, but I said Ruth, and then I heard the word ruthless. And maybe that's how some of you speak to yourself when it comes to your tongue. You could be ruthless when it comes to the things that you say to yourself in your head. Stop doing that. That's not cool. Not cool at all. Don't beat yourself down. And I've been there. Stop talking to yourself that way. Speak life into yourself. Even if you don't believe the things you're saying, do it until you do. Say the good things about yourself to yourself until you believe it. But don't speak death into yourself. Don't speak hate into yourself. Don't speak darkness into yourself. The only way that you can start to change how you feel and change your reality and your experiences is by changing how you speak to yourself and your thoughts. Combat your thoughts, because you can't stop yourself from thinking things. But once it does happen, you can just intercept the thoughts with good things and say, no, that's not true. Actually, I do love myself. Actually, I do trust myself. Actually, I am making the right choice. Actually, I am freaking amazing. I'm pretty amazing. Okay, so take a deep breath. Imagine that light going into your stomach. Exhale. Let it come up your chakras and out your crown. Okay? And then we're going to take a deep breath again. And that light is going to come back into our crown. Exhale. And push it out through our stomachs. Okay? And do this if you have selenite. Inhale one more time. Okay? So one more time. Inhale. Exhale. I have a quote to leave with you guys. Confidence isn't loud. It's settled. And when you're at peace with your worth, other people's power stops feeling like a threat. Thank you. And thank yourself for showing up, for being intentional about your healing, about finding balance. Thank yourself for loving yourself. If you did any of these exercises, thank yourself for loving yourself. I'm so proud of you guys. And honestly, I feel like this journey is about to get better and better and better. It's about to get better. We're going to grow together. I'm excited for us to grow together. Just keep doing the work. It doesn't matter how many times you fall off. Get back on and do it. Start again. Whatever it is you put down, pick it up. Start again. I don't care. Start again. You need to start again. You need to. Your gifts are needed in this world. They weren't put into you for you to let them lay dormant. Wake them up. Go through the ugly process of that light being shined onto you. Let it shine on you. Let it expose all of your darkness and face it with bravery and courage, and then move forward. That's what you have to do. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm really, really, really grateful to be here with you guys. Finally doing what I was called to do a long time ago. And honestly, every level of support that I receive, it makes me feel amazing. Every single comment that I receive, especially when you're telling me that, you know, what I'm doing is helping you guys, it feels amazing. So thank you so much, so much for doing that, for showing up for yourself. I do have my Quantum Ascension Workbook coming out January 1st, so look out for that. I do feel like that book will help so many people. I'm excited. I am so excited. I'm looking forward to the shift that's going to happen in the collective with that book. That book is going to awaken a part of you that you had no idea was hidden in there. And I made sure that it was affordable for everybody. It's super cheap because I don't care about making the money off that book so much. I know the royalties will be important for other things, but I'm really intentional about sharing information. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to share information, and there's so much inside of me, and I'm trying to get it out. So go and get the book January 1st. It will be released whenever you can. It doesn't have to be January 1st, but it will be dropped January 1st on Amazon. I will post a link in my bio on my Instagram page, which will be down below. And I love you guys so much again. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Especially share this video with someone that you believe will need the support. If someone's dealing with mental health issues, please share this video with them. I believe this could be so helpful towards people who are dealing with depression and can't find the light on their path right now. So again, love you so much. I love you guys. Peace and love and light and blessings may it come upon you in the most abundant ways ever. I love you so much. Okay, let the light shine on you. Ground in, go up. Let's go. Peace.